Hey guys, welcome back to J&J MMA. Real quick, I'm just going to cover the main card of UFC Fight Night, Bautista versus Oliveira. It was a decent fight night card up and down. I'm going to give a couple shout-outs to the prelims and then move on to the main card. I will put timestamps in the description below if you just want to jump to specific fights. First shout of the night is going to go to Jacoby, whatever the fuck you say his last name. Jacob, how the fuck, bro? He was kind of getting his ass beat by Gaffarov for about 4 minutes and like 30 seconds type shit. Like, it was pretty one-sided in my opinion. And then in the last 10 seconds, that motherfucker gets Gaffarov on the ground, puts him in a fucking choke, and with 1 second left, Gaffarov fucking tap, bro. Maybe even like it was half a second. But yeah, I have the officials come review it and shit and double check, make sure everything was hunky-dory. But yeah, nah. He got the win with 1 second left, which was a wild way to come back. So, shout out to Jacob, you know? Next shout of the night, guys, goes to Nikolay Vertnikov. God, dude, I'm bad with names. But he knocked Niko Price the fuck out. Like, I mean, this man sent him to the Shadow Realm. It was like a minute 40. And he, like, look, guys, Niko Price, I feel like has been getting, like, more brittle as the years have gone on. And we've seen him knocked out before. But, like, the way that shit happened was just so quick. And I was like, damn. I thought they were going to at least make it to round 2. But, nah. Nikolay had other plans. So, shout out to him, man. We'll see where he goes from here. Alright, guys. We're going to move on to the main card of the night. The first fight of the night, guys, was Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. Now, this fight, the story of this fight was pretty much Jacoby trying to keep it on the feet. Julius Walker trying to shoot for takedowns. And round 1, I feel like was, I guess, pretty competitive. I guess I could see you giving it to Julius because he did basically just keep Jacoby against the side of the cage for a lot of the fight. But they were throwing. We get to round 2. Round 2 now. Jacoby, it's like about 2 minutes in, dude. He fucking lands a beautiful, I want to say it was a right, man. And just Julius Walker slumps against the side of the cage. And what does Big Dan Mergliotta do in his 500th UFC fight he's refereed? He let that motherfucker, he let it keep going. Like, Jacoby even looked at him like he was about to try to walk away, like a walk-off KO. And fucking Dan Mergliotta is like, nah, keep going. And then, basically, Julius Walker, I mean, he tried to shoot and tried to survive, but essentially just got more head trauma for the next 40 goddamn seconds because Dan Mergliotta is fucking stupid. Like, the finish very much annoyed me because, like, it should have been stopped earlier. And the last shot he finally decides to call it off on is Jacoby just blatantly hitting Julius in the back of the head. But, you know, it is what it is. But shout out to Jacoby for getting a finish. And yeah, man, some of these refs, dude, especially the ones that have been there for a while, just some of their fuck ups are just very blatant sometimes. And I understand it's a hard job. I understand you're making a decision in the moment. But, like, damn. You know what I mean? But we're going to move on to the next fight. Next fight of the night, guys, was Farid Basharat versus Gene Matsumoto. Basharat won via decision, is still undefeated. It was a good back and forth fight. I will say, at the moment, I thought Gene won. But I can understand the argument for Farid. The thing is, Gene had a lot of control time. He had 7 takedowns throughout the fight. However, I just don't think he was able to do a lot with it when he did have control on the ground. He didn't output a lot of damage on Farid. He didn't go for any like major submission attempts or anything like that, or anything that would have been super feasible. Farid was doing good on the feet. Basharat was he also had good reversals and stuff on the ground as well. I mean, this was a decent fight. Like, it was just decent back and forth. I mean, if you want to look off of damage on the face, Matsumoto's face got cut in round 1. I feel like, too, that was also a big factor in why Farid was getting the rounds given by the judges, was because there was more visible damage on Gene as well. Like I said, just a decent fight overall. Yeah, that's really all I felt about it. So shout out to Farid and Basharat. I'm not the hugest fan of the Basharat brothers. Their fights to me aren't that, like, they're not that exciting, hence why I have really nothing to say. So we'll move on to the next one. Next fight, guys, was Michal Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-André Barriault. However the fuck you say his last name. Now, here's the deal, man. Michal Oleksiejczuk won the fight. I feel like he clearly got the decision. Marc-André had his moments though, dude. Like, I will give that French Canadian motherfucker so much credit. He has a chin. Like, he's been finished before, obviously. Both these dudes, and I don't mean this in like a demeaning way or anything, but they have journeyman records in the sense of like wins and losses. They've been both fighting for a long time, and they both know how to put on good fights. Like, towards the end, they were getting gassed. Obviously, they were beating the fuck out of each other. But Michal's striking's been getting pretty clean. Obviously, he still has a lot of holes in his game. But since moving out and training with the Brazilians, he's been improving. He's definitely been improving. Fuck, dude, like, the significant strike differential is crazy on this fight. Like, Michal landed 140 significant strikes. Mark only landed 77, and they both threw over 200. So, I mean, obviously, like, Michal's output was way more. But like I said, Marc-André did have his moments. He landed some good clean shots on Michal. But I feel like the biggest story of this fight was his fucking chin, dude. Like, he was just taking shit. Like, he got dropped once or twice, if I'm not mistaken. But overall, these two guys are just slugging it out. It was a fun fight. Shout out to Michal for getting the win. We'll see where he goes from here. Like I said, I don't think either of these dudes are like top 10 or anything, but I do think Michal has some potential to just move up a little bit in the rankings, you know? So we'll see where he goes from here. On to the next fight, guys. It was Jailton Almeida versus Rizvan Kuniev. Now, this fight was boring to watch, okay? But as a, like, if you're an actual fan of fucking mixed martial arts and you can have appreciation for shit, I can appreciate Kuniev just shutting down Jailton Almeida. Like, the whole fucking fight is just him avoiding the takedown, clinching up Almeida, and putting him up against the fucking cage. It is 15 minutes of that. Obviously, there were strikes in between and shit. But, dude, the ref broke them up so many times. I think it was Dan Mergley fucking Otta again. But anyway. He broke them up a good amount of times because there was little action. But I've seen motherfucking fights where shit just gets held on and nothing changes. And they were so quick to separate them to get more action. Because, like, you know damn well they want Jailton to fucking win. But it's like, dude, it's like if Jailton Almeida can't take you to the ground, you have such a good fucking chance of just beating that motherfucker. Because obviously he has power. He can knock you out. But, like, if you're better on the feet, or, like, in Kuniev's case, just good in the fucking clinch, as boring as it's gonna be, you're gonna shut down Jailton. So, I mean, it wasn't a fun fight to watch. It was 15 minutes. But Kuniev pulled off the win, bro. And he was an underdog. I don't think anybody, like, had faith in him, you know? And, you know, people forget, man. But shout out to Kuniev. It was a good fight. In the sense of shutting down Jailton Almeida, because you can go way back to, like, my videos of past. We don't really fuck with Jailton Almeida around here in J&J MMA. So I'm happy for Kuniev. So shout out to him. Move on to the next fight of the night, guys. It was the co-main event. It was Amir Albazi versus Kyoji Horiguchi. Now, this fight was very similar to the last one, except to me it wasn't boring, right? There was more action on the feet. Essentially, like, dude, Kyoji was just piecing up Amir, dude. All 3 rounds. Like, on the feet, Amir really had no answer. I mean, he probably landed a couple shots here and there and they were standing, but most of the shots I feel Amir was landing was, like, throughout the fight, the only type of fucking offense Amir Albazi was getting is he would get Kyoji, put him in a clinch, put him on the side of the cage, right? He was taking notes from the last fight. And he'd land, like, some good knees here and there, land some good elbows and some punches in the clinch. But then immediately, dude, it seemed like Kyoji would just fucking get out of it and just start piecing that motherfucker up. Like, it was literally for every, like, 1 to 2 punches Amir threw throughout the fight, Kyoji probably gave him, like, 10 as a receipt. We gotta look up these total strike numbers. Like, hold up. Because, what is it? It was 16 significant strikes to 73. Amir landed 20 total strikes. Kyoji landed 99. So, I mean, it was very much a one-sided thrashing. Like, there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Dude, it's crazy to me, dude. Like, Horiguchi was in the UFC, like, what, like 10 plus years ago? Lost to Mighty Mouse. It's been that long. Comes back, man. Everyone, I was telling my boo, man. Everyone's talking about this man like he's fucking 40 or 50. Like, oh, he's a legend of the game, and he's in his 30s, dude. Like, he definitely has a shot to make a run at the belt. So we're definitely going to see how it goes from here, man. I'm wishing Kyoji the best. And yeah, it was a fun fucking fight. If you didn't get the chance to see it, definitely go back and watch that shit on Paramount Plus. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to move on to the main event. We're going to move on to the main event, guys. It was Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. I don't know about y'all, but I thought this fight was pretty clear-cut that Mario Bautista was the more talented of the two. I like Vinicius Oliveira, but I feel like his last couple performances, like, he's just showed that he's been starting to slow down. I mean, he is, you know, an older cat too, but like, I think he's older. That beard makes him look like he's older, you know what I'm saying? But it was a fun little fight, man. I think I went to the end of round 2. Yeah, it was the end of round 2. And what was funny is you look at round 1, and round 1, man, like, they had their little scrambles against the cage and on the ground. But one image that just sits out in my mind is Vinicius just doing the stereotypical BBJ, fucking, I can't even talk, dude. The stereotypical BJJ meme, where the motherfucking jiu-jitsu dude just laying on his back with his legs up, and fucking Batista's just standing over him, you know? Like, he's just in the fetal position, the swaddle position. No, I'm joking. But, like, it was just funny. And then the fucked up part is Mario wins this shit on the ground. Like, you know, Vinicius' whole thing is, you know, jiu-jitsu. And then they get on the fucking ground, they're scrambling. The ending sequence, like the ending 30 seconds was so beautiful. Like, you have to go back and rewatch this shit because it was so fucking clean. He literally puts him in a fucking crucifix. He's just hitting him with elbows. Bah, bah, bah. Fucking, he goes for a Kimura. I don't know if he was actually going for it, if he was just feinting it. As soon as he does, Vinicius panics, attempts to scramble out, and then it's the way he swings. It's the way, like Mario Bautista, like I just rewatched this shit. He swings around him, and it was just like just one fluid motion. Like, whoop, just swung around that boy. And then snatched his neck. And then not even within like 2 seconds, Vinicius was tapping. So, I don't know if Vinicius gave up or if he just knew that shit was locked in and there was nothing he could do. But as soon as that shit got cinched in, bam, it was over. So, shit, man. Shout out to Mario Bautista. Like, you know, I used to give him a lot of shit because some of his fights were boring. But he's been coming through, man. Like, these last few performances, I've been getting more and more impressed. I believe he called out Corey Sandhagen. And that would be a fun fight, you know? Because Corey, I used to like Corey Sandhagen a lot too. But he ain't been doing too hot. We'll see, man. You know, again, the fight game's so fickle. I'm so fickle. And I can admit that. But, you know, I'm very much hyped to see where he goes from here. I don't know if Bautista would be top 5 or anything, man. But I definitely think him and Sandhagen would be a fun fight. It's a fun division right now. 135. And it was just a good fight night card, man. I believe he also got the fight of the night bonus and all that shit. I think it's cool now the UFC's been incentivizing more money, more pay, in a sense, for getting finishes and shit like that. Because I've always thought that, like, if you get a finish in a fight, you should get some type of compensation. You know, it doesn't have to be fight of the night or knockout of the night or submission of the night. But, like, just being able to get a goddamn finish is because, dude, there are some UFC cards where it's like decision. It's like 14 fucking decisions, you know what I mean? Especially some of these fight nights they make. But then you have those sleeper fight nights where it's just finish after finish after finish. And, you know, before they had that older payout structure, only certain people were getting compensated, you know what I mean? And I felt like a lot of people were getting fucked on it. So it's good to know that at least people are getting some form of bonus, some form of compensation. I'm very much looking forward to these upcoming cards they have booked. I will see you guys on the next J&J MMA. And y'all have a wonderful day.